record time here, 2:31.39. 10 runners over a mile. That's it, they jump away, awkwardly away was subsequent. They threw the head in the air and just happened to be rousted early to gather a little bit of momentum. Doing it rather more easily is Gallantly, and on the outside Open Secret in the silver colours, and also moving forward is Crown of India, the Fitri Hay colours with the red cap, and wider out is Attila the Honey, as they're already just climbing uphill and they swing right-handed. And out in the lead, it's Open Secret for Joe Fanning, ahead of Attila the Honey, William Buick, the Johnston pair well to the fore. Free Sweating Gallantly races in third place, just ahead of Crown of India, who is in fourth. At the back of the field, a very wide indeed. I think being pulled up here on the outside is Clockmaker. So Clockmaker being restrained behind the field. He's actually zigzagged back inside behind the field by about 6 lengths, but not sure what on earth was going on there. Thought he was attempting to be pulled up. Maybe he still is, as they make their saddle may have gone, as out in the lead it's Open Secret. So Open Secret has the way from Attila the Honey and Gallantly racing in third place. In fourth is Lord of Love's Claret Jacket, just ahead of Crown of India. Behind these is Voyage, Midnight Storm, French Duke a little keen but has settled okay with Subsequent, and still with the field is Clockmaker. But as I say, I'm not sure whether it's by accident or design, but he's actually closed up a little bit at the back of the field. Not sure why he was quite so errant at the back, and he's still racing very indolently. So out in the lead, it's Open Secret by half a length from Attila the Honey in second place. Gallantly is third. Fourth for Lord of Love, who races just ahead of the fifth place horse Crown of India. Second half of the field made up of Voyage with Midnight Storm, French Duke on the outside of Subsequent, so two of the big guns well towards the rear. And at the back, Clockmaker still, I think, effectively trying to be wrestled to a halt, but is still in touch with the rest of the field at the moment as they run downhill. Out in the lead, Open Secret shows the way from Attila the Honey in second. Gallantly travels strongly in third place. In fourth is Lord of Love. Pace on the increase with Crown of India racing in fifth, trying to break away from the second half of the field with Voyage. The gold sleeves of French Duke towards the outside of the field with Subsequent underneath that one. And now at the back of the field, Clockmaker is being ridden along but is out the back by 3 or 4 lengths. So out in the lead, it is Open Secret who continues to show the way. In second place, Attila the Honey. Gallantly comes next. French Duke down the outside is the one that's made most ground from the back of the field in company with Lord of Love. Open Secret has the lead. French Duke, Gallantly and Lord of Love are the closest pursuers now as they make their way inside the final furlong. Lord of Love for Kieran Schumacher. The outside French Duke for James Doyle. These two moving on from Gallantly. French Duke, Lord of Love is a doughty battler on the inside, but it's French Duke who's in front at the line. French Duke beat Lord of Love. Gallantly third. In fourth place was Open Secret. Behind those in fifth, staying on was Subsequently. Clockmaker's been pulled up quite quickly after the line. Saddle seems intact, not really sure what went on there during the course of the race, and Attila the Honey was just ahead of him. French Duke settled so much better. Difference between running uphill in the early stages, unlike downhill at Ascot, was put to sleep at the back of the field, came with a steady run. Lord of Love battled on well. There's a neck between them at the line, and they moved clear of Gallantly, who had the perfect sit into the race, and Open Secret, who gave a bold sight from the front. But eventually it was two progressive horses who pulled clear, one with 2 wins against his name, Lord of Love, and one notching his first success. French Duke for James Doyle, Roger Varian, and a big winner for Wathnan Racing on a week that'll mean a lot.
Yeah, it's important that, Richard. As you know, Johnny, important at Royal Ascot, these colours, the Emir of Qatar's colours effectively with Wathnan at a week that Qatar supports so heavily. An important one, really.
It was pretty straightforward, as we said. Kieran Schumacher's ridden a nice race there, sat in fourth. Ryan was in the box seat, but you could see this horse coming down the outside. He looks a big baby, still probably asleep, learning on the job, Jason. The hood has helped him. Small field, dropped in, and he was able to have that finishing kick at the end.
Yeah, you're asking them to relax, and the hood is there for a reason, to get them to listen to the rider and switch off. They can't hear as much. But then you're asking them to launch a challenge as well late on.
I think he's done really well because he's sustained a very strong finishing run and then had to engage in battle with Lord of Love and come out on top of that. So yes, a big improvement both in manners as well from his run at Royal Ascot. Let's hear more from winning jockey James Doyle.
Yeah, thanks very much, Francesca. It was cosy, shall we say. The hood for the first time, James, looked like a different horse today.
Yeah, he was still a little bit on it. He's a work in progress. Obviously bad draw at Ascot, it was a bit messy. Got a bit lit up after getting a bump, so we just thought be on the safe side today, put the hood on. He's trained well in it at home, and it's definitely worked today, and obviously it hasn't blunted his speed at the business end. He did well though, because it was a messy race. I had to ride him patiently to make sure he relaxed. but the race broke up a little bit. The ones in front of me lost tabs on the ones in front of them, so he had to make up a fair bit of ground. But I was always pretty positive he'd hit the line good, and he's done well.
Yeah, I was taken with him, and obviously Wathnan Racing, that was a big step for you, James, to kind of step away from Godolphin and into the Wathnan role. Really nice to see them getting the rewards they deserve for putting so much into racing and so much into you.
Absolutely, and after Ascot, it was well documented. Qatar sponsor Goodwood, Glorious Goodwood Festival, and this was a target from a long way out. So, yeah, we've got one on the board on the second day, which is hopefully a good starting point.
Yeah, and you may well have another one, Asterius, a horse who you'd have to be positive about running a big race.
Yeah, he's a horse who's got plenty of toe. Things didn't quite suit him at Sandown. I don't think he was seen to best effect. He kind of was a little slow from the gate and he over-travelled a little bit. I think this test will suit him a lot better, though. I'm sure they'll fly down the hill and he can get a bit of a toe and hopefully finish off his race well.
Nice. Well, best of luck to you for the rest of the week, and well done here.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Well, Varian stable will be delighted with this. They went very close with Enfijar yesterday, and French Duke has come good here. The first for Wathnan of the week. Well done, Roger. And this is clearly a fast improving staying colt.
He's a very promising colt, Matt. I don't think he's a finished article yet. He still looked a bit babyish early on today, but I like how he made up ground. It's quite hard to do, I think, on the fast going this week. It'll be hard to make up ground, and this horse did it today, and he showed a bit of fight in the final furlong, so we're delighted and delighted to have a winner here at Glorious Goodwood for Wathnan Racing.
Would it be crazy to even think you could stick him in a race like the Ledger? I know he's only in the 80s, 90s now, but you think another 2 furlongs, he was well on top of the line.
I'm not going to say it's crazy, Matt, but it seems a long way away still. I think he's still furnishing this horse. I think in the future he's going to be a really nice horse.
Walk with us, Rog, because I don't want you to miss the moment, yeah?
Yeah, he's going to be a really nice horse. He's only won his first race today. It's a nice way for him to break his maiden, but you can see him running, and I need to watch it again. He's still got a lot to learn.
OK, if you pop him in, remember this conversation. And just finally, Amalka in the Nassau, you'll be looking forward to stepping her up in trip.
We are really looking forward to it. Yep, she's in great form.
Well done.
Been a bit of money for Amalka as well, from 16s into 14s, possibly 12 to 1 now. Good race tomorrow, the Nassau. This was the Coral sponsored handicap. French Duke won it, the favourite. Good start for favourite backers. 16 to 5 the price. Lord of Love touched off at 9 to 2, and to show how French Duke was staying on there, race IQ